drinks from the water, trying to cool his tongue. Like the king finds no peace, his work is never done. Nightfall, smoke on the water, darkness closes in. Cold white hand in the deep will drown you for your sins. It's a long expedition, second guessing your decisions, trying to find out what's been missing. Hey, just keep on
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Kare Park in Irwindale. We have a live podcast for you here to meet the team event. Hopefully, everyone out there is ready to go for tonight's festivities. And for those of you who will be watching this on YouTube tomorrow, well, welcome back. Hope everyone is having a good time so far this evening. We're set up down here near the third base dugout on the west end zone here, northwest end zone. Next to the burgers, you need to find us over here. The girls are getting going here courtesy of some of the RHP parents out here. Still almost about to get started here for the Meet the Team event. Let's go over briefly some of the festivities this evening. We're going to have some stretching, dynamic stretching, and warm-ups here with the boys at 5:45 or so. Some tackling drills, throwing lines. JVs will be on the south side. Varsity on the north side. We'll see some kickoff drills with the varsity first. We'll see some defensive scout, some kickoff returns, a little bit of everything tonight here at the Meet the Team event. We're trying a podcast here. Field level. First time we've done something like this, so bear with us this evening. You'll see the Rio Hondo boys on the field for the first time here behind us. And again, with the cameras, not always an easy situation. But we're making it work. Again, great work here for all the Rio Hondo faithful. We got merchandise as you enter. Again, burgers are smelling good. And thanks to all the parents who put up the new senior photos there on the bleachers, looking really, really sharp. Rio Hondo, of course, opens up the season next Saturday night here at Kare Park against Francis Parker. 7 o'clock start. Will be nice to have that as a home game this year versus the long trip last year. For those of you big fans of the podcast, we do have a pregame show this Thursday night. It will feature 2019 graduate Evan Four, current college baseball player out in Oklahoma, who came on the podcast, sat down with me briefly. So a fun conversation with him that I think you guys will enjoy as we get ready for a brand new football season here in 2024. A lot of activity on social media this week. Lots of posts from various media outlets, coaching projections featuring a lot of our players, a lot of top player lists. A lot of different guys made those lists, guys from the class of 2026, from the class of 2025, our senior group this year. So if you have not had a chance, go check it out on the various social media platforms. Charge to Keep on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Once again, we'll make an announcement when the food is ready to go, as we are right next to all the merchandise over here by the third base dugout. Anyone wanting to swing by and say hello, by all means, come on down, grab a seat. We'll talk some Rio Hondo football here on the podcast. We're good to go. A volleyball score from earlier today, your Rio Hondo Prep Cares were victorious at the Azusa tournament, beating Azusa in 2-0. They do play later again tonight against, we believe, West Covina right now, and another opponent to be determined later this evening about 7:30. But the Rio Hondo Prep volleyball team 2-0 on the season with 2 more games going tonight. And now joining us is a member of the Rio Hondo broadcast team, Mr. Kyle Horton, who does a great job as the color analyst of the broadcast there on the NFHS network. Kyle, you just got here to the event and I threw you right into the fire here. What's going on? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you. It's been a while. Doing good. Really excited to see these guys come out, and I know they've been practicing already for a couple weeks, so gonna get a good look, maybe a little cleaner look than we might have seen a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, man, we saw the great championship win last year. Of course, at Santa Monica, who could forget it? And it's a brand new season though, and turning the page is sometimes difficult, but it seems like these guys are ready to do that this year.
Yeah, it's a brand new season, but it's not a brand new team. They got a lot of guys returning. I mean, we lost, 4 starters at the most, I think?
Not very many.
Not very many. So it's going to be almost the same team as last year. You got a couple key positions that you're missing from last year. Alex Mustaine graduated. Josh Taflinger graduated, middle linebacker and quarterback. But other than that, I mean, we got some big guys coming in, big positions to fill. But I think these guys are going to be up to the challenge.
Most definitely. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the quarterback position. We know Yannick got some snaps last year, quality snaps, and he's looked good so far in camp. Landry Johnson also working hard there. But again, Rio starts with the offensive line up front. We did lose some key guys there, but I think guys like Jacob Gomez stepping in, of course, Elijah Gavia, and a big man, Ivan Takach seems to be the leader of that group now after Colby Johnson graduated.
Yeah, and Jacob, he finally got his shot last year, and then he got knocked out of the season basically with a concussion. So he's basically been out. He got his big chance. He was starting center, and then injuries took him over for the rest of the season. But I'm going to be excited to see him play this year. He's got an extra year of experience under his belt, so it's going to be fun to watch this O-line develop and really step up and try to emulate what they did last year.
No doubt about it. And the running back position is alive and well here at Rio Hondo Prep. They go, pretty deep in that area with Noah Penaneri, Caden Holcomb, Nate Curtis, just so many guys that can touch the ball and score in a hurry, put up big yards. So we're going to see more of that this year. We can't forget about Nathaniel Shine, and hopefully he doesn't miss, 7 weeks this year due to injury, because we need that guy. He's got the magic hand, the shine touch there would knock it down that pass in the championship game.
Yeah, I mean, and this running back core, it's not even, it's for us, it's not even fair. I mean, these guys, our starting running backs are still, they're going to be juniors, maybe a senior thrown in there, 1 or 2 of them. But man, I mean, these guys are still young. I mean, Noah and Nathaniel especially. Shine, he's coming off the postseason that he didn't really play much, or season at all that he didn't really play much. But when he did play, he made a massive impact on the field. So I'm going to be looking forward to those guys coming back.
Yeah, and a little difficult to see here on our YouTube channel, but as the sun set, hopefully we get some more backdrop here for you. But the fans are piling in here as they're still setting up the merchandise tent there. The burgers are going here. I mean, what do you think, Kyle? I think this is quite a way to start the new campaign.
This is certainly a little bit more than when I was playing. I'll tell you that, man. I know you and I both. It's a little bit more than when we were playing, but man, this is a great time. We're just having fun. I mean, we didn't have a broadcast when we were playing either, but here we are. Man, this is it's a great atmosphere. It's just going to be a great place to play.
What are some maybe changes or just kind of continual things we'll see from you guys on the broadcast team? You and Clark Bollinger, of course, our great producer, Chris Kirby, Robert Bray, all the camera work he does and everything. But I mean, I last year, the broadcast team, we all got to kind of work that state game together, which was a blast, kind of a tribute to the work that had gone on all year. But I don't know, what are you kind of looking forward to on the broadcast side? Any changes or just kind of more consistency from everybody?
Well, for those of you that don't know, our audio for last year, Clark and I, we were using my iPhone 14 Pro. So We're hoping to upgrade that this year with some new headsets. We got a taste of those in the state game. And so that was something we really were looking to upgrade in terms of the sound. We're going to have those windscreens. So you get up high on that lift and the wind starts blowing in late October, early November. You're not going to get as much wind interference as you would with a, say, phone microphone. So that's going to be the biggest change, I think.
Well, and for the fans, they really appreciate you guys making the trip all the time on the various road games. We got a big road trip this year, about 400 miles north. Or do you think you guys will be making that trip, or someone will at least be there to do the broadcast for everyone?
Yeah, I'm not sure about myself yet because the Kare Youth League program, I think, is still going to chug on. So I'm a part of that, but there's a couple guys, Clark, play-by-play, and Chris, our director. It's looking pretty good. I know Chris is already for sure making his way up there. So we are going to have a production of some kind. Of what kind, we don't know, but we will have one in Sunnyvale, California.
Yeah, we hope to see your uncle Todd Carson up there. A lot of our Northern California fans will, of course, be there for that. Our Oregon fan force up there, alumni force, they'll be coming down, and that's pretty cool. San Diego is one thing, but to go to Northern California, that NoCal versus SoCal battle is going to be fun. And that game specifically, Kings Christian, they came here last year and gave us quite a fight. So that is a consistent program. I'm looking forward to that road trip there in October.
Yeah, that seems like one of the games to circle on your calendar this year against Kings Academy on the road. That is a long road trip. Is that the farthest that we've ever done, Matt? I think it might be for a regular season.
It's got to be.
I think it's got to be, and I think it is by a lot. I know I was playing against Mission Prep. That was up in San Slow, so not quite as far as Sunnyvale, right? Just south of San Francisco. But man, yeah, that seems like when they came down, they looked like a very consistent program. Someone that's kind of like us, a little bit smaller, but their consistency is what their success has been, and I think they'll give these guys a good test.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities here at Kare Park to see the team. Unfortunately, only 9 games this season with the cancellation of the Campbell Hall program, and only 2 league games. So you got a tough regular season, but those 2 games against Viewpoint and Brentwood, both of them here at home, are really going to be what determines to see if Rio does go to the play. It's not a perfect system by any means. It's the only system we have, but there is a world where Rio Hondo could have a very good season if they don't show up in those 2 league games. It could be an early exit for us.
Oh yeah, this team could very easily go 8-1 and still miss the playoffs, which is insane to me after winning the championship just a year ago. But man, here we are. Might be time to start looking for a new league. I'm sure that's in the works, but I mean, who's going to take us, Matt? I mean, I just don't know. I mean, the Rio Hondo League didn't want us a couple years ago. I remember those talks going very interesting. They decided to choose Poly. Not sure why, but here we are in the Gold Coast League with just 3 teams left. But yeah, like I said, this team could very easily go 8-1 and see themselves not being in the playoff conversation.
Yeah, that's unfortunately how it works with CIF and their infinite wisdom. But hey, whatever, it is what it is. Speaking of Poly, the week after next, technically week 1, the second game of the year, a matinee at Poly Saturday afternoon. Actually, it's going to be before noon. Poly trying everything they can at us. Neutral sites, night games, day games, Friday afternoon. Now going to try a Saturday morning game. I think, to me, that's a shot at the RHP faithful to see if we can show up or not.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's going to be, I believe that's the first week of Kare Youth League, first week of Saturday games. So they're really putting us to the test. But I know these guys will be ready for that game. That's always a fun game. That's always a high octane game, no matter what. Poly has been a little on the lower end the last couple of years, but don't be surprised if they put up some sort of fight. One mistake, go the other way. Who knows?
No doubt about it. And, I think everyone takes pride in their record against Poly if they can remember it, even on JVs and all that. Just matters a great deal to the RHP faithful. Kind of like the, Army, Navy, and, you never beat them all 4 years. It kind of stings. And anytime you lose the ball, it's been a while, though. They have their program has kind of gone down a little. But I think it's probably time for them to step up, and they would love nothing better than to upset us and probably feel most most able to do that on their home field on a Saturday morning in the very end of August.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to catch the Cares while they're still trying to find their feet, trying to find their identity as an offense.
Yep.
I know last year it took a couple games for us to really start to figure out our true identity, what exactly our go-tos were going to be. But man, when they figured it out, I mean, it was firing on all cylinders. I mean, it was nonstop. It was relentless. I think they scored 36 points a game, 37 points a game or something like that. It was like one of the most we've ever had. And especially more interesting was how many we let up on defense. The Cares have generally not been, the best at stopping the pass because we don't know it. I mean, it's just the way, it's just how it is. But last year, I mean, they had to stop some real pass heavy teams in order to, win the championship. St. Margaret's, just to highlight one. And although we didn't really stop them, but they kept fighting, and we played our game, and well, look who came out on top. So
we survived. We survived, and that was what it was all about: survive and advance. Those playoff games last year were so much fun, very nerve-wracking. Just everyone had its own little identity, but a lot of times it was us kind of trailing, which we hadn't done much in the regular season. We trailed and then had to fight back and usually take the lead in the second half. And so it was cool to see the team last year have kind of that adversity where all year really in the regular season they had kind of exploded and started early and took big leads. And so totally different in the playoffs, but yet the team was able to fight through some adversity and man, really shine as the Rio Hondo Prep football program.
Yeah, I mean, that's by far, I mean, all 4 games, that was some of the most fun I've had watching Rio Hondo Prep football, and especially calling Rio Hondo Prep football, because, I mean, it had been a long time. We weren't allowed to even stream playoff games until, I don't know, a couple of years ago, because CIF, again, in their infinite wisdom, signed an exclusive deal with NFHS. So, yeah, that was the first time we really had a run broadcasted for the fans, and I think that was just a ton of fun. And I think these guys, I mean, they deserved it. They earned it. And I mean, they gave it everything they had.
I want to talk about the parent support out here, not just tonight and this summer, the season, but the program really operates on some great volunteer work from so many people, mostly parents of the players, but sometimes other people that just want to be involved in the program. Tonight, it was a nice surprise. We'll try to get it on the social media or something, but they have a nice tablecloth for us with the logo of the podcast.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, brand new stuff here. I mean, just moving up in the world. You ask them to do one thing, they do a lot of things. We got people making burgers over here. We got Mr. Guerrero, hello there on the video board. I mean, just it does feel like a family environment here when so many different people contribute in so many different ways.
Yeah, and barring just, a couple of the highest end schools, modern day St. John Bosco, high school football really is about the community, I think. I mean, you got those guys coming in from who knows where, but especially here at Rio, I mean, it's just the example of just a great community environment. These guys have just done an excellent job. And I mean, just look at Mr. Bray over there. He's way over there in the end zone over there, but he's testing out our new cameras. I mean, he's doing all this really cool stuff. And I mean, his kids have been out of Rio for, I mean, I don't even know, probably a couple of decades.
Long time.
But man, it's just so awesome. These parents, they give everything for their kids, and it's just really awesome to see. And it's something to be proud of.
Yes, and that's why I continue to preach that the Rio football program is one of the most unique out there. Yeah, a lot of parents contribute and give of their time, but I don't know, it's just different here. It's very different, and I encourage people to come out and see what it is all about if you haven't done so already. But it seems like most people do and come on out here quite a bit. Kyle, your uncle is head coach Mark Carson, and I know you're proud of him. He coached you at one point, but I mean, what did it mean to see Coach Mark, Uncle Mark, finally win the big one last year?
Man, it's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, Rio has slowly been going up and up and up in the divisions, just constantly. So it's always been an uphill battle for us to even have a chance to winning a championship. I mean, just a couple years ago, the game after Charter Oak, St. Pius Matthias, great story about that. There was a wide receiver that was playing in that game. He hurt himself right at the beginning of the game, and he didn't play pretty much the rest of the game. He returned a kick off for a touchdown to start the game, I think. He went off to go play for Mater Dei, and he started at running back and then committed to Georgia this year. So it's just been crazy, the level of the talent level that we've been asked to play at, and it's just been unbelievable that Coach Carson's been able to get these teams convinced that they can beat anybody. And in the last couple of years, it really seems like they can.
Another interesting aspect of the team this year, I have before me, Kyle, a roster of the team, and I was shocked when, you know what I had to do? I had to turn it over. We actually have a 2-page roster at Rio Hondo Prep. Things have changed quite a bit here. It's not a huge list, but it's only about half of the next page. But I remember we used to have some very, very small, almost like a baseball team as far as the roster goes. Now look at us, man.
Yeah, seriously. The class above me, shout out Chris, he's over there with Mr. Bray on the end zone. But I think his class, I think there were like 6 or 7 guys in the class. And my class was one considered a bigger class, and we had 12, 13 or so. I mean, it's just unbelievable that not only are they doing just such a great job at getting these guys out here, but I mean, just getting these guys in the school. I mean, it's just really awesome to see the school slowly growing, and so is the football program. I mean, there's more guys out here today than there were probably combined between I want to say like my entire like high school career. Like it's like there's so many guys out here. It looks like they got the JVs practicing on the other side of the field, but it just goes to show you. I mean, and the other thing, everybody's got a guardian cap. I mean, these are like these are brand new to
stuff.
pretty much everybody, and that just again it goes to show that this community is really stepping up and supporting this football program and supporting this school and just doing everything that they can to see these guys succeed.
Yeah, it's very fun. It's just fun to see the development, the growth of the program, and just to see where it continues to grow. It's this constant evolution here. So, Kyle, we'll let you go. I know you're a busy man. We'll try to get some other either alumni or just anyone who wants to come over and share some thoughts about the season and the upcoming team. We'll try to maybe grab producer Chris Kirby. I don't know. We'll grab some members of the broadcast team just to get our practice in, if you know what I mean. But thanks so much, Kyle, for stopping by.
Yep, thank you, Matt.
All right, we'll have more guests for you here shortly as we continue to cover the Meet the Team event here as the unofficial kickoff of the 2024 season. All right, we're back into the Get Home Safe podcast. Faithful out there. Again, sorry for the background or lack thereof. It's rather bright out here, and the first time we've tried something like this. So it is a challenge, we'll say, but we need some darkness to fall here soon. But great atmosphere here at Kare Park. We got people still piling in, and some more members of the broadcast team are kind of chatting here off to the side and getting ready for next week here for the season opener. But right now we're looking at some looks like some defensive reps going on with I believe that's probably the starting defense, likely a lot of guys from last year, and varsity right here to our immediate right, and then further down is the JV guys down there. But the numbers I believe I have before me should be pretty accurate. The new roster, if you will, we'll try to get that out to the Rio faithful shortly. But again, here on the podcast, one of our first remote ones. So of course the picture quality isn't great, but thanks for bearing with us here on the podcast. Again, here Friday night, you guys will be listening to this, I'm sure, on Saturday. But Yannick Diaz getting some reps there at quarterback, running some zone read, looks like, against the starting defense of the Rio Hondo Prep Cares. A lot of familiar faces in the secondary, of course, the Curtis brothers, Elias Har, who's now a sophomore, looking to play some safety this year. And then we have, they're changing up some jerseys now, so maybe just some different guys getting some action. But of course, Caden Holcomb in the middle there, David Reyes, Ivan Tkach, Noah Peninari, a lot of the guys that played some defense last year. And some new guys that I've taken note of. I mentioned them earlier. Ethan Lowe, number 33, looks to be playing some outside linebacker. And then as well as, where was the other name I had on here? It must have changed. Trying to keep everything updated here is not as easy as it might appear. Marco Chan back out there getting some work. And then let's see. Some new names here on the roster. We'll definitely have to learn their pronunciations and things. But it's fun to see new guys out there, of course. Here's a pass from Diaz, a little pressure. Looks to almost be a pick there from Tyler Dang, of course, similar to right down here in the playoff game, of course, against St. Margaret's last year when he had that nice bat down to keep the 2-point lead alive there in the first round of the CIF playoffs. We got, well, I'll have to learn some of these pronunciations, but a lot of familiar faces, a lot of new faces as well. Like I said, it's about 6:20 right now, local time. They'll be going about another hour or so before the cheerleaders go out there and do their performance, and then there'll be team introductions later. I'm not sure how much of all this we're going to cover, but just wanted to give you guys, the RHP faithful, an opportunity to embrace the get the team event here and get an opportunity to see the team on the field and, of course, all the fans behind us. I'm going to take a breather now. We'll be back with another guest here soon, and I'm going to take some video and pictures of what's going on behind me for our social media platforms. We'll be right back after this. All right, we're back here on the podcast down here at field level on the third base side, right over here by the hamburgers and hot dogs. They're smelling really, really good. We're now joined by recent graduate Josh Taflinger, a captain on last year's championship team. Josh, I know it's probably a little odd being out here. What's it like being back here as a member of the alumni for the first time?
So I knew before I even graduated that I'd hate being called an alumni. So that's weird to me, but it's neat seeing this from a different angle. I'm not out there on the field, and I definitely miss that. But it's really cool to see the guys that I grew with and how much they've grown and how much they're competing. So I think it's exciting.
This time last year, when you're at the Meet the Team event, it's kind of the last week before you officially get going with real live games. What's kind of the emotion that you remember in kind of the Meet the Team events, kind of like our unofficial scrimmage, if you will, just kind of the last hurdle really before going back to school, and then starting kind of the regular practices, but the Meet the Team event and the atmosphere and everything.
So last year I specifically remembered that I wanted to show everyone what we were made of, because losing Ryan McCullough and Anthony and a couple other prime guys 2 years ago, I heard a lot of people question, like, how good are you guys going to be? And I heard that a lot. I was like, we only lost a couple guys. Yes, we lost Ryan, but we still have guys who are going to be growing. They're going to be strong. So I wanted to show them that. And I think that this was our opportunity to show them that we get hit and that we were ready to go out there and play. So.
No doubt, that was a lot of fun last year at the Rio Hondo Prep, and this year here at Kare Park, where next week the Francis Parker Lancers will be coming to town. A little nicer than that long road trip last year for sure. So a lot of home games. I think 5 home games out of the 9 games. Guys like yourself, plenty of opportunities to come back and watch the boys on the field.
Oh, of course. I'll be here as much as I can, probably every Friday night, and I'm hoping I'll be able to go up to San Francisco when you guys have that long road again. So I'm excited for that.
That's going to be a lot of fun for everyone involved, and it might be the furthest, unless the fans out there will have to educate us. I don't know that Rio Hondo has traveled further for a game before than the 400+ mile trip to Northern California. I'm getting a confirmation over here unofficially to my left. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun because as Coach Carson always says, man, anytime, any place, anywhere, I think Rio Hondo is ready to go. And you got plenty of frequent flyer miles last year, Josh, in the postseason.
Right. Yeah. I grew used to traveling and being on the road and playing. And like Mr. Carson said so many times, we're going to go into their house and we're going to make it our own and we're going to shut them down. So I think that we're strong anywhere we go.
Absolutely. And it was one of the weirdest things when you stop playing is you come back and the first time you watch the team and everything, it's not a jealousy thing, but you kind of like, you look, who's wearing my number? Because it's your number. So who out here is, let me see, on the roster, who's wearing your number? Or maybe nobody.
No one.
Nobody?
No one's wearing my number.
No one wearing, we retired Josh Taflinger's number last year, guys. After that great catch in the championship game, who could forget that pass from Alex Mustaine? So no one wearing, was it 44, right?
44.
No 44 out there. Okay, well, it's a high price to wear that number anyway. As far as some of your former teammates, Josh, out here, guys that you can say everyone. It's easy to say, okay, Ed, you love playing with everybody, but talk to me about a few guys returning on this team. They don't have to be seniors, but probably they are. Just some guys that you really will cherish playing with and that stick out, and you're looking forward to having a big year this year.
So like you said, I can say everyone, and I truly mean that, but I think I'll keep it down to 3. So first one would be Zach Bro. He has a huge spirit and a big heart. And when I think about brotherhood, like I can think about the whole team, but specifically him. He's an awesome guy, and I call him my brother and one of my best friends. So him, he's always got my back. And then second to that, Ivan, just as much as his brother as Zach.
Yeah.
And he's a huge guy, and it makes me smile every single time because as a freshman he wasn't playing football, and then he called on the tag and said, "I'm gonna try this," and he's a dog now.
Yeah.
And after that, all these guys are line guys because I grew up on the line.
Of course.
David Reyes,
Right.
another guy who didn't get a lot of plays last year, but again, he could have been out there and he could have been doing just like good. And this year he has his opportunity. He's going to show everyone what he's got, and he's one of the toughest guys in open back. So, yeah, definitely those 3.
Love it. All those guys back this year. They're gonna have big time years. Of course, you go with the line guys. I love that. Those the ball carriers, the receivers, they all get plenty of headlines anyway, right? We gotta always remember our linemen out there, the big guys up front. Well, not maybe as big as other teams, but our big guys anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, they're out there in the trenches, and they definitely need more credit than anyone else.
Well, Josh, as far as your summer, how was your summer? Being away from football, graduating. Congrats again to that. You got big plans ahead. You ready to start college, or have you done so already yet?
So I haven't started yet, but I'm very excited. I'm going to Biola University, and I'm pumped. I'll be living with Owen Barry, another one of my graduate
Okay,
friends. So
okay.
that'll be fun. And I've just been working out all summer. I'm trying to walk onto the baseball team. So
Very nice, very nice. Good baseball growth program there at Biola. Well, Josh Taflinger, thank you for stopping by. Who can forget that catch in the championship game last year? Mr. Josh Taflinger. No one's wearing 44 out there. That's kind of nice. Thanks so much, Josh.
of course.
All right, we're now joined by another captain from last year's championship team and recent graduate of Rio Hondo Prep, joined here by Colby Johnson, the CIF champion and all CIF lineman from last year. What's going on, Colby? It's a little different how being here on this side of it.
Yeah, it definitely feels different out here. I'm not used to being on the sideline, but I guess I gotta get used to it eventually because I'll be watching the games. But yeah, no, it's nice seeing some of the past guys like Nate Curtis, Ivan DeCoste, seeing all those guys, seeing the new guys that are coming up to replace us. It's nice seeing new faces that we saw on JV last year.
I asked Taflinger this, one of the weird things coming back is seeing someone else wearing your jersey number. And I think we spotted your jersey out here. Who is that? Can you tell us about him? And kind of, is he worthy really of wearing that Colby Johnson jersey out there?
So yeah, I think it's Rocco Targino,
Nice.
and he's an incoming freshman. He played on the junior high team last year, I believe. And yeah, he's a solid lineman. I was actually helping coach while Dave was on his honeymoon, and I was helping him out. Yeah, he looks like he's going to be a pretty good JV, maybe a starter on JV. Pretty solid. If he develops, he'll be pretty good. He's pretty big already for a freshman, and he's not afraid to go hit. That's what I noticed right off the bat.
Well, then he's wearing the jersey proudly there, representing well. Coming back the first year after graduation is odd. It's tough. It's bittersweet, but going out on top, I'm sure helped last year. And just coming back and seeing some of your former teammates that you already mentioned it's gotta be fun for you, and just kind of seeing what they're gonna do, despite you not playing alongside them anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, like I said before, but I mean, it's kind of funny because I think multiple people that I've seen tonight have already said like, "Oh, how does it feel? Does it feel any different?" Yeah, it definitely feels different. Like, I don't know, I'm not used to this, but I'm excited to watch them see when they play the guys we played last year, like when they play Parker and when they play Pauly. I'm excited to see the Torrance game too.
Yes.
I think that's going to be one of my favorites coming up.
That game should be a blast, and someone I think who's kind of unofficially taken over your lineman leadership out there is captain from last year's team, Ivan DeCoste, who seems to be even bigger than last year, number 57. Again, as captain as a junior is a pretty big deal, and I can already see in practices and even out here tonight that he has really stepped up and kind of taken over that role as the man in charge of the men in the trenches.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think I could choose anyone else better to help lead those guys out there. Ivan, he's even though he hasn't been playing football very long, I think this is only his, third, maybe second or third year that he's been playing. And, he already knows, like, basically everything about the O-line position. He can help out the newer guys, even some of the older guys that don't know it as well. He's going to be out there. He's definitely going to be playing hard every snap. I can rely on Ivan to go 100% every snap. And I already saw him after some practices telling them to go hit the sled, encouraging them,
Let's go.
get some PRP going,
That's right.
So I like that. I think he's doing great right now.
No, absolutely. He's taking charge, and there's so many other guys. It's just a cycle, man. It's just you get right back to it, and you know what? It's you get to be one of us now, man. I told you guys that a long time. You get to be one of us as alumni guys out there. And as far as the summer, how did it go for you? You started college yet? It's probably coming up here soon, shortly. You ready for it?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. So I start at Cal State Fullerton August 26th. So coming up.
Right here. Look at
Yeah,
it.
you're repping us.
That's
Cal
right.
State Fullerton. Yes, sir.
When again?
August 26th.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's coming up. It's coming up
Coming
real
right
quick,
up.
but this summer I enjoyed this summer. I was able to hang out with friends, able to make some money for college,
Yeah.
So I've been having a great summer. I don't know if I'm quite ready to go to school, but
No, you never
I
are.
mean, I'm sure I'll get used to
Oh,
the.
man.
I'm sure I'll get used to the
The routine of
the
it,
routine.
just,
Yeah,
diving
the
in once you
routine of
get to it.
school. Yeah, for sure.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, yeah, fellow Titan, that's a beautiful thing. And yeah, man, just real football. We got 5 home games here, 9 games total. You talked about the Torrance game, but there's going to be plenty of opportunities for the real faithful to come here. And are you ready to take some road trips, much like you guys did for so many weeks there in the playoffs last year?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I can't wait to come to every game, cheer them on. Hopefully I'm the loudest one here on the sideline or in the stands, Hopefully they can hear me. And I mean, yeah, I'm really excited to see what these guys can do because they've gotten bigger and better since last year. Some of those seniors, Caden Holcomb looking massive right now.
Yeah.
Definitely put on some weight since last year. I'm excited to see how they're playing.
Scared, man.
Yeah, for sure. Other guys better watch out,
Well, what's really cool too about this team is, 2 years ago, your junior year, so many of the guys were freshmen, and now here they are as juniors coming off a championship as the sophomore as class last year. It's the biggest class, really, a group of guys, and so it's been cool not just to see them, but even the current seniors. You mentioned some guys that have really developed through the program as a young guy, because you remember what it was like playing as a freshman a little bit here and there, and then all of a sudden you blink and, oh man, here we go, it's varsity football time.
Yeah, for sure. I think, well, when I was a freshman, it was that three game season, so I didn't really have much time to get used to it. I just went straight into my sophomore year with not really that much playing time under my belt. I was already going against those massive guys. But speaking of that junior class, they're huge. Also, they have so much diversity in their the different position groups.
Mm-hmm.
They have quarterbacks, they have linemen, they have running backs, they have wide receivers. They have a little bit of everything. It's like in their one class, they can make a whole team.
No
So I think that's interesting because they add just them as one class can add so much depth to our team. And they have really skilled guys like Noah Benineri, Elijah Gavia is coming back as I think a 4th-year starter probably. I think he is.
Yeah, 3rd year. Because he did.
Oh, sorry,
Gavia,
yeah, 3rd-year starter.
Gavia, 3rd-year starter. But he'll be a 4-year starter for sure.
For sure.
No doubt. Well, Colby Johnson, appreciate you joining me. And I want to run down your real football resume real quick. You mentioned that freshman year, 3-game season, but you got to, at least dress and to be a part of the team that beat Poly in the Rose Bowl. You got to be on that team, of course, that beat Charter Oak, who can forget that great win. And then, of course, the 2023 CIF championship game at Santa Monica High School. That's a pretty good career. I'm proud of you, man, and a little jealous too, because man, not everyone gets to have some big highlights like that. But you had a great career, man.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Definitely couldn't have done it without my parents. They're really big supporters of Rio. They're still here right now,
Yeah,
helping out.
working the burger
working the burgers, still helping out, coming back. Couldn't do without Dave Drain, O-line coach, always pushing me. Even from the start,
That's
he
right.
threw me out when I was a freshman. Didn't know what I was doing, but he was always there for me. And I think AJ Corsini, D-line coach,
Oh, yeah.
he always told me, smack him in the mouth. Even though you're like younger than them, you're a little bit smaller than them, just still give it your all, see what happens. So I think, yeah, those two main coaches and then my parents really helped me out and get me going on my football career. So yeah.
Well, awesome, man. Thanks for everything you did and for your great work, and good luck to everything else. And we'll have maybe another guest or two here on the live Charge the Key podcast here at field level here at Kare Park in Irwindale. The episode will be released Saturday at some point, so you guys can relive the sights and the sounds if you're here in person. And if you're not, well, you're getting a good taste of what's to come for the 2024 season. We'll take a break and be back right after this. Well, Rio Hondo Prep fans, we are back here at the Meet the Team event. We got our wider angle camera here now. Now that the light or the sunlight has dwindled down a little bit, it's about twilight here, roughly 7:30 here local time, and practice should be finishing up soon. And then the cheerleaders will take the field and have their first performance of the brand new season. And then after that, Coach Carson will introduce the coaches. The players will try to get some of that footage probably on the social media platforms, maybe not here on the camera, but just wanted to step back in here to say that the crowd really has filled in nicely. It's been great seeing so many familiar faces here. Cheerleaders warming up over here. There's been all kinds of people at the snack bar here getting lots of good eats and supporting the cause, ton of sweatshirts and merchandise for sale. It has been a really, really great night so far. Wrapping up here soon. Here's a pass from Yannick Diaz to Nate Curtis in the back of the end zone. Kind of nice seeing that in some form or another. We saw that a few times last year. We heard from Colby Johnson, Josh Taflinger, a few of our seniors, our graduates from last season. Also saw Alex Mustaine is here fresh from his practice at Cerritos College. He'll be one of the many quarterbacks there on the roster. So he's continuing his football career at Cerritos College, just down the 605 freeway. It's just been a nice evening. It's cooled down. It's been very relaxed atmosphere. Hard work on the field. They are wrapping up with some more offensive work here, and then they will get into the official introductions of the players, and that should go about 15 minutes or so. Again, we'll try to get you some content here on later on with some other introductions of our own of the players, kind of similar to last year that we posted on social media. And we might even wrap up the podcast when this is officially dropped on Saturday with our player intros that we did on social media, and we'll see if we can kind of tie all that in. So it looks to be they're lining up for an extra point here, field goal, if you will. So that's probably wrapping up the end of the evening for everybody. Marco Chan is going to be kicking. Looks like Tyler Dang, the holder. Low snap. Dang recovers it. And Marco Chan splits the uprights. Good stuff there. Marco was a kicker on the team a few years ago, getting some time with, as the aforementioned, Alex Mustaine. So very good at short range, pretty consistent, I'll say. We'll see if Marco really, if he develops and extends his coverage a little bit here on the 2024 season. But have looked at the roster here. There's been a few number changes, most notably Nathaniel Shine, number 25 last year. He has changed jerseys to number 12 this year. So he'll be repping that in the backfield. Kind of surprised me at first, like, who's that new guy? And then just realized, oh yeah, never mind. That is in fact Nate Shine. So getting to know some of the names on here as well. Another kick from Marco. Nice and smooth. Right down the middle there. I will read the roster here for you guys just briefly, so you have a kind of the lay of the land, and we'll get to know more of the players here later on the podcast with individual introductions and stuff. But at the top, number 2, Tyler Dang. Number 3, Nathaniel Curtis. Number 4, Yannick Diaz. Number 5, Landry Johnson. Number 7, there are 2 number 7s listed. One, Nicholas Harrington, a sophomore, and the other, Rain Pollock, a junior. Number 8, Blaze Torres. Number 9, Elias Har. Number 10, Joshua Curtis. Number 11, Colosio Chico. Number 12, Nathaniel Shine. Number 14, Isaac Guzman. Number 15, Diego Householder. Number 18, Christian Lee. Number 19, Jace Frary. Number 20, Braden Vinton. Number 21, Andy Zhu. Number 23, Adrian Mendoza. Number 24, Braden Yokoyama. Number 28, Derek David. Number 29, Devin Gomez. Number 31, Noah Pinaneri. Number 34, Donald Scheffler. Number 42, Caden Holcomb. Number 43, Troy Seto. Number 33, Ethan Lowe. Number 50, Zachary Burrow. Number 52, Rocco Tardino. Number 53, David Reyes. Number 54, Marco Chan. Number 55, Jacob Gomez. Number 56, Elijah Gavia. Number 57, Ivan Tkach. Number 73, Benito Nolasco. Number 74, Dorian Harrington. Number 75, Benicio Tardino. Number 77, Diego Regoza. Number 78, Rosenberg Penaloza. Number 80, Aiden Del Gadillo. Number 81, Julian Rodriguez. And number 81 as well, Winston Yang. So some multiple numbers there. As far as our roster goes, some of those guys will probably play on the JV team as well, mix and match. And as you can see behind me, it looks like the team is done. They're huddled up, and looks like the cheerleaders are ready for their performance as well. So it's been a very, very fun evening here. It's hard to believe that a week from now we will be playing football for real, if you know what I mean. It'll be a Saturday night, so we got 8 days officially, but we will be back at it before you know it. And I hope that the people who have been we're back. Had a little delay there, but we are back. As you can see behind me, the team has kind of wrapped up their practice, and it looks to be like the cheerleaders are about ready to start their performances. So it's been a fun night, nice and cool night. It's hard to believe 8 days from now, it'll be time for the regular season against Francis Parker right here at Kare Park in Irwindale. And I hope the people who have, live far away in other states and stuff have been able to appreciate the atmosphere. I know it's been tough with the vision behind me and the scenery and everything, but we'll step aside right now to hear from Coach Carson as he's addressing the masses out there, and we will be back with you after a very short break.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the Meet the Team event. It was a little bit kind of brief, if you will, and a little choppy at times, but one of the first times that we had our podcast, remote, if you will, kind of a live event, not really, but kind of with the different microphones and the fans there and the audience and everything. So we're gonna improve on this. I think next year. This was a great first draft, if you will, for next season to kind of do the remote location event there. So I have some more ideas, ways to improve already, and I think by the time we get to next season, or you never know, we might do something similar, at some other point during this year. I have ideas. They don't always get executed, but sometimes they end up giving me other ideas. So I think the next go around, it'll be a little cleaner, maybe a little better audio, maybe a little better visually, but hey, we don't know if we can do something until we try it. So I hope the fans who were not in attendance tonight at the Meet the Team event were able to soak it in a little bit, kind of get the atmosphere a little bit from far away. And to those fans that were there, maybe an opportunity to relive it a little bit, and just always trying to improve the podcast. I know Coach Carson always trying to improve the program. So everything's a work in progress, right? And that's honestly what football is all about also. So it all kind of ties in together. And so to all the great parents out there, I got to say, man, what a way to start the year, really, with this being like our scrimmage week, if you will. Next week, games go for real regular season and everything. But man, I got to tell you, the parent support at Rio is amazing. The people setting up the snack bar, the merchandise area, just setting up tables for, other volunteer items, and just everything's covered at Rio, which is just great. And I had plenty of help. Thank you to Vice Principal Exta, who helped me kind of set up my stuff. A big thank you to the parents for, again, the nice tablecloth, if you will, that has the Charge to Keep logo on it. I mean, thought that was really neat. I mean, these are things you don't think about, especially as a guy. You're like, tablecloth, I don't need one of those. But the parents go out of their way to do something super nice for me, to put the logo on it, make it look sharp. And it's already got me thinking, well, I got to probably use that during the season now as I'm there on the sideline, and get a different table for myself as well. So man, it's good to have this kind of repetition, this kind of, it's kind of game simulation, if you will, so that when we get to the regular season for real, that we're just one more step ahead of everything. So Coach Carson mentioned in his speech to everyone that Francis Parker, they were there in attendance, if you will. There was a coach there watching our every move, if you will, scouting our scrimmage, which they are more than entitled to do. And I think what's great about Rio Hondo is you can almost tell people your game plan. We try not to give anything away here on the podcast, but Rio's going to try to run the ball, establish a run, play good defense, get some takeaways. It's kind of the same script all the time, but that's the beauty of Rio is, if you're going to show the other team or tell the other team what you're going to do, you never tell them, but figuratively, of course, you better be able to then deliver upon that. So I think the boys, practiced well today, and everything looked good out there. Pretty sharp for the most part. I think they're ready to go and start this season. But I got to tell you, there's a team in Francis Parker that is ready to bring it to Rio Hondo as well in their home opener. So you don't drive 120 miles just to scout a team's scrimmage unless you're very, very serious about competing. And so I hope Rio is ready to go. The boys, the players, the coaches, the parents, everyone, because it's a brand new season. Last year is officially behind us. We're going to stare at that banner forever, but it's time to make some new memories. It's time to make some new big moments, if you will. And the 2024 cares. I'm very excited to see what happens here. Some housekeeping items. I have a great pregame show already set and scheduled for you guys on Thursday. Be sure to tune into that. I know we play Saturday this week, but I've decided to release the pregame shows on Thursdays, regardless if we're playing Friday or Saturday. So we're going to have a featured guest, Evan Four, as I mentioned earlier, the 2019 graduate of Rio Hondo Prep, who's currently a college baseball player out at Oklahoma Wesleyan. I recorded with him over the weekend, and so that'll be a fun conversation for you guys to hear. I'll also have a brief little rules segment, as I often do in the pregame shows, and we're immediately back into the rhythm and routine of the season. The pregame shows roughly 24 hours before the game. I'm just going to do them Thursday nights, right around 5 o'clock from here on out, and then of course a post-game show usually the day after our games, whether it's a Saturday or Sunday. We'll try to get it in at some point during the season. Pre-game shows, usually a member of the alumni, maybe a member of the media, and then as our guest, I should say, and then Coach Carson and a player typically on the post-game shows. I hope you guys are ready for all that. 2 episodes a week. Hey, here we go. It's time. The time is now. The place is here. And it's time to kick off some Rio Hondo Prep football. So the first pregame show of the season will occur just a few short days from right now on Thursday. So get your calendars ready and just get ready to get into that rhythm, guys. I encourage all of you to do so and to embrace the 2024 football season. As I mentioned before, if you do me a favor, tell one person about the podcast, whether it's a Facebook like, a Twitter like, an Instagram follow, maybe just a subscription to the podcast as well, clicking follow or clicking subscribe on the YouTube channel. I just want to continue to slowly grow this thing. Tell a family member, tell a cousin, tell someone, whoever. Let's get one more. If you can contribute one more like or subscription to the podcast, then that's you doing your part, which I greatly appreciate, because I'm nothing without the great fans out there and the Rio Hondo faithful, the Rio Hondo Nation. It is time to get this thing going for real. So a big thank you to Valerie Johnson for helping me set up a lot of things there down at Kare Park. I mentioned Vice Principal Edwin Ixta, and a big thank you to Kyle Horton, Josh Taflinger, Colby Johnson for stopping by on the podcast in the live version or the in-person version. I think it was really, really fun to reminisce with those guys and talk about, the past and also look to the future, because that's what we're routinely doing here on the Charge to Keep podcast. Are you guys ready for some football? I know what I am. It's well after midnight here. Friday night, it has turned into Saturday morning, and I will be releasing this episode in the very near future. So it is my privilege to put all this out. And in closing, I thought we would meet the team officially. I posted this on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitter. I posted it everywhere already, but I want to close out today's show with the player introductions that I did through the video, and I think we did miss a few guys actually, and that's a bummer, but for the most part I think we got a lot of the guys and some new faces, some kids that are young but big dudes, and I'm excited about a lot of these guys, the new faces and the new opportunities, if you will, of course, alongside some of the veterans out there that have been playing Rio Hondo Prep football for 2-3 years now. It's exciting times, and I just can't wait for us to kick it off, and then away we go. It'll be the fastest 10, 12, 14, 16 weeks, however long we play. It's going to go by really, really fast. So embrace every moment. We're going to close with the player intros of every player, saying their number, their position, where they're from, just so you guys kind of have an opportunity to see who the young men are that will be representing all of us here next week. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Again, I encourage all of you, get out to some games this year. If you made it out to 2 games last year, try to get to 3 games this year. If you've never been to an away game in recent memory, hey, get out to an away game this year. I know everyone's busy. Everyone's got lives and work schedules. Trust me, I'm right there with you. But man, let's try to get out and support this team. And if you can't in person, by all means, pay that subscription fee on the NFHS network, and I guarantee you will get some excellent content from the likes of Kyle Horton, Clark Bollinger, Chris Kirby, Robert Bray, as well as Dave Guerrero working the sidelines there. It's going to be great content. This podcast, this coverage, it's just slowly growing, slowly improving, game by game, and I think we really got something going here that is unlike anything else anyone else is doing out there. And I'm just, again, humbled by it all and encouraged and excited. And here we go, man. So I will see you guys on Saturday night at Kare Park. Get your rest. We are now officially 1 week away from the start of the 2024 season. Your defending 2023 champions will, in fact, see if they can defend that title. We'll close things here with the official introductions of our team, and then that'll be it for the summer of podcasts. It has been my privilege and an honor to get you guys in the right frame of mind, get you fired up. If you haven't listened to some of the shows from the past, by all means, they last forever. So go back, listen to them, binge watch them, if you will, and get ready for Rio Hondo Prep football. As a reminder, pregame shows Thursday nights, post-game shows Saturday or Sunday nights. Just if you're listening now, I'm sure you know that, but just a friendly reminder to soak it all up and get every drop of Rio Hondo football coverage that you can. The intro song was a new one I actually heard today as I was out and about. It's called "Heavy Is the Head That Wears the Crown" by Zach Brown Band, and with featuring Daughtry, I believe. So heavy is the head that wears the crown. Yeah, I'd say there's a lot of truth in that, especially with this football team. You won a championship last year, but as of next Saturday night at 7:00, none of that matters anymore. It's time to strive for new goals, new season, new expectations, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It's exciting times at Rio Hondo Prep, and I think that song was very fitting for the intro today. And as we wrap things up today on the final summer episode, if you will, of the Charge to Keep podcast, I want you to check out all the new faces and the veteran faces of our current team, the 2024 Rio Hondo Prep Cares, because these young men will be the ones representing all of us in so many ways over the next few months. And I'm already proud to call them brothers, Rio Hondo Cares, whatever you want to call them. These are our guys, and I hope you embrace that and see these guys as like, yeah, they got our backs and we got their backs. If you know what I mean, it's a vicious circle, if you will, or cycle, and just excited to get this thing going. So as I step away and wrap up this episode, I want you guys to meet your 2024 Cares, and then we will see you Saturday night at Kare Park in Irwindale. And of course, you'll be hearing from us on Thursday for the first pregame show of the season. Good night. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming to the Meet the Team event. Here are your 2024 Rio Hondo Prep Cares. See you on Thursday, everybody.
3, Nate Curtis, senior. Running back, slot receiver, and strong safety, Huntington Beach, California.
54, Marco Chin, senior, kicker, O-line, Arcadia.
Number 5, Landry Johnson, senior, quarterback, Arcadia, California.
15, Diego Householder, senior, running back and safety, Monrovia.
Football bag.
Number 28, Derek David, senior, wide receiver, defensive back, Azusa.
57, Ivan Tkach, senior, right guard and D end of D Arcadia.
Number 10, Josh Quavius Curtis, senior, defensive back, Huntington Beach, California.
42, Hayden Holcomb, senior, fullback linebacker, Pasadena.
21, Andy Sue, senior, defensive end and running back, and Temple City.
50, Zachary Burl, senior, right tackle, nose, Fontana.
25, Rain Pollock, junior, linebacker / tight end, Pasadena.
Number 31, Noah Penaneri, junior, running back and linebacker, Glendora.
Number 53, David Reyes, junior, offensive line, defensive line, Glendora, California.
Number 77, Jacob Ragosa, junior, offensive line, defensive line, Almani, California.
Number 4, Yannick Diaz, quarterback, junior, Monrovia.
Number 75, Benny Tardino, junior, O-line, D-line, Azusa.
Number 56, Elijah Gavia, junior, offensive line, defensive line. I live in Rosemead.
Number 55, Jacob Gomez, junior, O-line, D-line, Pasadena, California.
Number 12, Nathaniel Shine, junior, tight end, D-line, Monrovia, California.
Number 8, Blaze Torres, junior, wide receiver, cornerback, and I live in DeWardy. Number 2, Tyler Dang, junior, wide receiver and defensive back, Rosemead, California.
Number 29, Devin Gomez, junior, running back and linebacker, in Azusa.
Number 11, Colojo Penchico, junior, wide receiver, outside linebacker, Monrovia, California.
Number 19, Jace Ferry. I'm a junior, wide receiver DB, DeWardy.
Number 33, Ethan Lowe, junior, linebacker, and I'm from Upland. Number 9, Elias Hart, sophomore, tight end, free safety, Pasadena, California.
Number 7, Nicholas Harrington, sophomore, wide receiver, linebacker, Arcadia. Number 43, Troy Seto, sophomore, running back, linebacker, San Gabriel, California. Number 18, Christian Lee, sophomore, linebacker, wide receiver, Upland, California.
Number 81, Julian Rodriguez, sophomore, tight end, linebacker, Arcadia.
Number 34, Donald Scheffler, freshman, quarterback, wide receiver, and safety, and I live in San Marino.
Number 24, Raiden Yokoyama, freshman, running back and free safety. I live in Pomona.
Number 78, Roosevelt Peñalosa, freshman, O-line, D-line, El Monte, California.
74, Dorian Harrington, sophomore, O-line, D-line, and Arcadia, California.
Number 54, Kevin Lara,
freshman. Linebacker, kicker, South Central LA. Number 52, Rocco Tarino, incoming freshman, O-line, D-line, and I live in Azusa.